Hugh Hefner, founder of Playboy magazine, says this. He says, "I started Playboy magazine as a personal response to the hurt and hypocrisy of our Puritan heritage." He goes on to say, "Our family was Puritan in a very real sense. Never hugged. Oh no. There was absolutely no hugging or kissing in my family," Hugh Hefner says. "There was a point in time when my mother, later in life, apologized to me for not being able to show affection. That was, of course, the way I had been raised. So I said, 'Mom, because of the things you weren't able to do, it set me on a course that changed my life and the whole world.' When I talk about the hurt and hypocrisy in some of our values, our sexual values, it comes," Hugh Hefner says, "from the fact that I didn't get hugged a lot as a kid." When I first read this, I wanted to weep for this man. This man is just starved for love like we all are. Let me give you a visual here so we understand what we're up to in this theology of the body. Imagine, if you will, I know this is a stretch, but imagine that this is the most beautiful painting you have ever seen. What is it a painting of? It is a painting of Adam and Eve, just as we were created. Do I hear some oohs? Do I hear some ahs? Thank you very much. And it is the most beautiful painting we can possibly imagine because we are the crown of God's creation. And in the beginning, He made us naked without shame. Here is the tragedy of the original sin. Here is what has happened to our vision of the bodies of male and female because of original sin. This beautiful, wonderful, glorious painting has become terribly distorted by lust. What is lust? Lust, if you look at your study guide at the second bullet point, is sexual desire lacking God's love. Lust is love's counterfeit. Now, we recognize in our hearts that lust is not appropriate. And in a lustful world, we tend to think that the solution to this dilemma, and this is the classic religious blunder, we look at this and we do this. Body bad, sex evil, tainted, dirty, going to hell. In the early 1950s, there were two very important historical figures who said we mustn't throw this away. One man was named Hugh Hefner, and he pulled this out of the trash and he said, "Hey folks, you shouldn't throw this away." Was he right? Yes, he was right. So far, so good. Where was he wrong? He left it just like this and started shoving it in our faces, saying, "Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this." That is the sexual revolution of the 20th century. More aptly, I would call it the pornographic revolution. Another prominent figure of the 20th century, at the very same time, early 1950s, a young Polish priest named Karol Wojtyła, who would later become Pope John Paul II, also pulled this out of the trash and said, "You shouldn't throw this away." But he did much more than Hugh Hefner did. He said, "Let me show you what you just threw away." And by reflecting deeply on the Word of God, on the words of Jesus about the beginning, started unfolding for us, uncrumpling, if you will, the original, beautiful, wonderful plan of God. And this is what the theology of the body teaches us. This is what the theology of the body reveals for us. Christ came into the world, not to say, "Don't look at that, that's bad, tainted, dirty, evil, your body's all twisted and distorted, and just live a spiritual life." No, Christ came into the world to redeem our bodies. Christ came into the world to redeem us, male and female.